So I think this is really, really you. This is you. This is you at your core. You're introspective. You're very deep. You analyze things. You're a very, very deep thinker. I think sometimes people around you might see you as a little bit inactive, a bit slow moving sometimes, but you do a lot. A lot goes on inside your head. And when you act, when it's time for you to act, you're ready. Because you've already been through all the scenarios, you've been through everything in your head, you've thought it all through, you're prepared, and then it's like, right, I've made up my mind, I'm going to do that. And that's what you do. And you're also really good at reading people. I'm seeing this as well. Usually people who think more than they say, like you, they're really good at reading other people. Because they stand back, they observe, and that's what you do a lot of the time as well. I think at this time, I think you're coming out of a situation, you're very carefully, very slowly doing that, you're making your way out of the situation. It wasn't a good situation. I think this was a love connection. I think you had a long history with this person, but it was a very frustrating history that you had with this person. There was love between you. I don't know if this even turned into an actual relationship, or if it did, it was very slow, very difficult, very confusing. I think for you, it looked as if things were going to happen a few times and then they just didn't happen. Things just stopped. Maybe they changed their mind a lot. There's a saying, I've got cold feet. I had warm feet. I wanted to do this. Now they're cold. And when you look at this hermit, he's standing in the snow. So he has cold feet, obviously, if he's standing in the snow. So I'm not making a joke about this. It's actually very serious. I think this person changed their mind, messed you around. But if you look at this hermit again, he's looking at this star. He knows where he wants to go and he's moving forward. So I think after a while, you were messed around. You had this indecisive person, you had this annoying person, and it was very stressful, and you just decided you were just going to move on. Enough of backwards and forwards, enough of indecision. That's what I'm seeing there. Emotionally, I don't think you wanted to do this. I think you had to do this before you were emotionally ready to do this. But you did this, you put a lot of thought into this. And I think you just realised being on your own was a better option, a safer option, actually. Not safer physically, you weren't in any physical danger, I'm not seeing that, but mentally and emotionally. So yeah, that was about you moving on. I think you might still have a little bit of healing left to go there, because I think that really messed with your head, this kind of backwards and forwards thing. And you have the Nine of Wands, which he has a bandage around his head, so messing with your head. So I think that's what happened to you, and I think you still have to kind of heal a bit from being messed around with. That's what I'm seeing. Okay, so the next card you have your past is Temperance. This is a beautiful card. This can be about healing. So I think you have mostly healed from this. You still have some to go, but you have done some healing. You've definitely learned a lot from this situation as well. And this can be about alchemy as well, which I love. It's about making a bad situation into a better one. And I think you spent a long time doing that. You tried to make the bad situation into a better one by staying. You wanted to change things within the relationship, and then you just realised, I spent too long trying to do this. I've spent too long trying to make this work. That's it. I'm just going to move on. I've had enough now. And then you spent a long time after that thinking about what you wanted for yourself, who you wanted around you eventually. But I think you were determined not to jump in with someone new. I think you wanted to put time and thought and everything into yourself. And I think you were right to do that. Yeah, I'm actually seeing that there might be someone around you now. There's someone around you. Okay, there's two things. There might be a new love connection around you, but there's also someone around you telling you, I don't think they know about this, because they're telling you to get out there, meet someone new. They're a little bit patronising, actually. I don't know if this is a relative or a friend, but they're kind of saying, oh, it's like they're giving you sympathetic looks, saying, oh, you're by yourself, you're single, don't worry, you'll find someone new. And it's a bit patronising. So you don't like that, and you don't like attention around your love life. It's like, just let me be, just let me be myself, just let me do my thing. If I'm with someone, I am. If I'm not, I'm not. You don't want pressure around this. That's what I'm getting. You just want to kind of stay away from any pressure. And you know what you were doing as well, and you didn't want to meet just anyone. That's not you. You put thought into everything you do. So yeah, you're just taking your time. But again, I am seeing there might be a new person around you. If there is, you're probably keeping this a bit quiet. But I don't know if you're in an actual relationship yet. But yeah, it is a love connection. It is something like that. There's definitely passion there, or there's potential passion with these two beautiful red wings on this angel. And you're connecting emotionally, again, with these two cups that are being blended. But you're being careful, you're being cautious, you're taking your time, you're keeping this kind of under the radar. I'm seeing that as well. I'm not seeing any problems around this person. I think you're absolutely right to take your time, actually, because I think that's what feels natural to you. It feels comfortable to you. And yeah, if that's happening, it's always an indication that that's the best thing for you to do. Follow your instincts. And I think that's what you're doing. That's what I'm seeing in that card. Okay, so the last card you have your past is the Nine of Wands. So again, no more messing with your head. You're moving forward. You've been through a lot of things. You've been through a lot of hurt, and you're coming out like this man. Now, I think this person who's around you, this love connection, they're a little bit quiet. They're a thoughtful person. They're quite straightforward. They don't mess anyone around. There's no backwards and forwards coming from them. They're a bit quiet, but what they say is what they are. They don't mess you around. So that's looking really promising there. So I don't think you have to worry about anything about that happening with them. I'm also seeing a little bit of trouble around your workplace. I think this has been going on for a while, actually. Someone sees you as a competition. That's what I'm seeing. Someone sees you as their competition. They might be a little bit ahead of you. I'm seeing someone who's above you in some way. This is at work. Maybe they're senior to you. It's someone who's ahead of you in some way. I keep on seeing that. And they're quite a loud person. They're a vocal person. They're the opposite of you, actually. I'm not saying you're this delicate little flower. You can stand up for yourself, but you think first. You think first before you act. And I think they're the sort of person who does the opposite. They act before they think. So you do not get along with this person at all. And I think the way you've dealt with them in the past has just been, you just try to ignore them, really. You just push forward like this man, and you just try to ignore it. Now, again, they think you're some kind of a threat. They think you're some kind of a threat. They think you're going to take them over. They think you're coming up behind them. What I'm seeing is they see there's everyone else in the workplace. There's you and there's them. No one else matters to them because no one else is a threat to them. Only you are. So take that as a compliment if that resonates with you. Okay, this is what I'm seeing. I think their mouth is going to get them into trouble, actually. They're going to say something quite horrible, maybe to a client or something, and it's going to be inappropriate. That's what I'm seeing. I don't think they'll leave. I don't think they'll be fired or anything like that, but they'll be a little bit quieter. They're going to be in trouble, and they're going to be a little bit quieter than they have been for a long time. They're actually good at what they do. They're good at their job. They're just a loudmouth. And they're completely different from you. So again, they see you as this competition. They see you as this competition, but they're going to be a little bit quieter after they've made this mistake. That's what I'm seeing in that card. I know that's so strange. It's so strange. That's what I'm seeing. Okay, so the first card you have your presence, the Four of Pentacles. Oh my God, this is another really strange thing I'm seeing here. I don't know what's happening to this reading. Okay, so it's interesting. There's money here, obviously, and there's big money energy everywhere, all around everyone's reading this week. I'm seeing money all over the place. It's really good. And this is about money that needs to be released. This man's holding onto these coins. He's not letting them circulate. He's not letting them go. So I think there's some kind of payout coming to you, actually. I'm just seeing this. Check your emails, check through your emails, maybe check through your spam folder or something like that. There's something someone needs from you. It's some kind of final step that you need to go through to get this payment. It sounds like a scam. Don't worry, I'm not talking about scams. I'm not saying, oh, just send me some money and I'll give it. No, it's not a scam. Ignore scams. I don't mean that. This is something you know about. This is something you might have forgotten to do. It's like you went through this process and you didn't do the last bit. It's something like that. Something hasn't been done properly. And it's a nice amount of money. It's not life-changing. I wish I could say it was. But it's worth investigating. It's absolutely worth doing and looking into. It's a nice amount. It's a nice amount. So yeah, take that step. I don't know. It might be something to do with work. It might be taxes. It's something like that. But yeah, check through your emails, check through your spam, things like that. Stay away from scams. I just have to say that again, because it really sounds like I'm saying, oh yes, that scammy email you got. No, don't do that. Okay, so the next card you have for your present is the Moon. Okay, this is a very deep card. This is a really complex card. Okay, so what I'm seeing here, and I'm seeing this in this reading so far as well, you got away from this old situation in the Hermit card. You rose up from that, which is what I'm seeing in the Temperance card. That's about rising up. Now, I'm just looking at these watchtowers, and of course, if you're up in a watchtower, you can see everything. It's like looking back on everything and you can see what's going on. So, and also, you know, I'm seeing a lot of different faces as well. It's almost like this person who you used to be with, this ex that went hot and cold on you, they had different personalities, different faces, something like that. Because if you look at this moon, there's a crescent moon, and behind that there's a face, and behind that there's a sun. So it's like 1 minute they were one way, the next minute they were another way, and you just never knew which person you were going to get. So, and I think part of you was hoping, I think that's why you're holding on for a bit longer than you should have been, because you were hoping they'd settle and stay on one personality, the positive one, obviously, the sun, because their good personality, the sun personality, was absolutely beautiful, fantastic. They were wonderful, they were warm like the sun, very kind, all of that thing, very caring. But then they changed very quickly again, so they didn't stay like that. And I think you only realise that at the end, that they'd never kind of be who you wanted them to be. They're all these different people. So I think you only realise that when you're looking back, you know, looking down out of one of these watchtowers. And yeah, with this new person, you are taking your time with them, because I think you still have a lot of healing to do. I think sometimes you feel fine, and then other times it sort of all comes back to you again. So you do still have some healing to do with this old situation. It's when you've got someone who's one way, another way, another way, it's very, very bewildering. It's very difficult to get over something like that. So you are still working your way through that, I think. And yeah, I think this love connection that you're with as well, I think they're also coming out of a bad situation as well. I think I saw this in your last reading maybe, so you're both taking your time for that reason as well. Now, I think the rewards that come out of taking your time and the rewards that come out of this relationship, they're going to be really worth it. I'm seeing a lot of positivity around this, and, you know, I think when you came into this new relationship, you probably had quite low expectations because of everything that's happened to you. But I think this is going to end up being way, way, way better than you anticipated. It's going to be really fantastic. It's going to be worth the time it takes. I'm actually seeing a very, very, very special relationship coming out of this. It's very beautiful, very warm, and yeah, very, very special. Very special, that's what I'm seeing. Very beautiful. So the last card you have your presence, the Emperor. Yeah, again, this new person, they're straightforward, you know where you are with them. They have one face, they don't have 20 different faces. But just be a little bit careful, not with them, but I am seeing a little bit of pressure around you. I'm seeing this again, it might be the same person. This pressure's coming from someone to be in a couple or be in a relationship or to get further or to move in with someone. It's some pressure about a relationship. So it's almost like you feel as if you're being watched sometimes or observed. Might be by your family, might be by friends. But these people are kind of waiting. They're waiting for you to be in a couple or to be in a relationship. I don't know what stage you're at, but from what I'm seeing here is you're trying to take things quite slowly. So maybe you should think about maybe just protecting this relationship a bit, keeping a bit quiet, making sure there's not a lot of attention around it. I don't mean keeping it a secret, but what I am seeing is it's worth protecting. That's the main thing I'm seeing here. It's worth protecting. And the last thing you need after everything you've been through is more pressure, and they don't need it either. So just let this blossom in its own time, and maybe try not to put a lot of attention around this. Try not to go to too many big family things with them, because you might get a lot of words in your ear going, oh, is this a relationship? When are you getting married next? All of that kind of thing. You just don't need that. It's just putting pressure on. So be a bit low key with this. That's what I'm seeing there. I think you already are doing that. So the first card you have for your future is the Two of Cups. Yes. Okay, I'm laughing because I know I said I don't want to put any pressure on this relationship, but this looks pretty amazing. This looks amazing. This looks really special. Again, taking your time, that's the absolute best thing you can do around this. Now, this card can be about friendship growing into love. It can be about love developing very slowly, very surely. And again, I am seeing a very, very, very deep connection is developing here. And again, not putting pressure on this. This is one of the reasons why this is going to thrive, because I think between you, you're not putting pressure on things. There are people outside you trying to, but I don't think you are. No one's hung up on what the status is of this. You're just connecting, you're just enjoying the time together. And, this is fantastic to see, really good. Keep on doing what you're doing. If this sounds like how this is going for you, keep on doing what you're doing. That's what I'm seeing. Okay, so the next card you have for your future is the Hierophant. Okay, so yeah, this can be about tradition. And I think you're coming out of a lot of traditions. I think you're really changing a lot. You're coming out of old ways of thinking, especially when it comes to relationships, because you're not putting pressure on yourself anymore, and you're not putting pressure on anyone else either. I'm not saying you're putting pressure on anyone, but I think you're moving on from a lot of old expectations, if that makes sense. Maybe this is about family expectations, because I am seeing this pressure might be coming from family. Or family traditions. You prefer things that mean something very personal to you now, not because they're the done thing. That's what I'm seeing. And I think as time goes on, you'll probably find even more traditions that you're going to move on from, that you're just going to discard. I'm actually seeing a big shift coming to you, not at this time, but in the future. And I think this is the start of this big shift. I think you're really going to totally change from the way you were before. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Death card or something like that coming up to you in the future, or for you in the future at some time in these readings. So watch this space. If it comes up, that's why, because you're going to have a total change coming up. Not now, but in the future. But I think this is the start of that happening. Yeah, you're leaving a lot of old things behind, and you're becoming almost like a new person. It's only a tiny bit now, but it is going to develop. Okay, so the last card you have for your future is the High Priestess. Yeah, again, this can be about secrets. It can be about keeping things to yourself, being wise about that. The High Priestess is very wise, obviously. So yeah, you're going to do what I'm saying here, and I'm glad you are. You're going to keep this to yourself. You're going to nurture this. You're going to let it develop naturally. Special things, precious things, which I think this relationship is turning into. When you think about, really, really precious things, they need to be nurtured. They need to be taken care of before they're ready to go out into the world. When we think about, babies, they're ready to come out when they're ready, and flowers are ready to bloom when they're ready. And I really think this relationship is very, very special. It's definitely worth nurturing. It's definitely worth taking care of. until you feel it's ready to take to the next level, or until you feel it's ready to take out into the world. Because again, you're hiding it from this pressure, and I'm really glad you are. So keep on moving forward in the way that you're moving, if this is what you're doing. And, you know, just do that. Don't put any pressure on this. Hide it from people, especially nosy people, until you're ready to take that out into the world. That's the message there. So Cancer, I hope this resonated. Sorry about that noise. But yeah, general readings can't always resonate with everyone. Sorry about that noise. I know someone's talking in the background. I'm really sorry. I'm glad it happened in the end because I get distracted by noises. Again, if you like this reading, please like, subscribe, leave a comment if you'd like to. And thank you so much for watching.